Architecture has gone through a huge transformation over the last century in terms of the built and natural environment. We are facing challenges. As architects, our role is very crucial in understanding the kind of emerging architectural vocabulary, the different layers of architecture, urban design, infrastructure, environment, all need to be, somehow revisited in terms of the emerging architectural vocabulary for the country. And forums like this, when we have reached crossroads in terms of architecture education on one side and architecture practice on the other side, the national education policy which is in the process on the other side, the huge experience of our mentors and the dynamic young India or young professionals who are there, in terms of challenges of digital era, it is a challenge for us to address to the public, to the architects, and also to the policy makers of the country in making most appropriate design decisions in terms of planning techniques and architectural vocabularies which are emerging towards New India. Role of we as architects is very crucial in basically relooking and advising the government and advising the authorities, educating the masses and spreading awareness of our profession in such a way that we are able to have a progressive and inclusive IIA via forums like this. One of the focus related or linked to our profession is handling the authorities in terms of getting our design ideas get through a process of approvals. So it's very important to have a streamlining mission in terms of having single window clearances for all varied kind of multiple authorities and approvals and NOCs that an architect has to take. So while doing this, we have to address issues of we as architects going to technical and non-technical people. The government and the authorities has also to see that when they are asking us for a digital uploading of any online processes or doing entire approval processes through online modes, we have to see that their infrastructure is also in place, and that is a big challenge for institutes in terms of addressing those concerns of we as professionals in terms of doing ease of business. Let's get it right in terms of getting single window clearances. We as architects have varied kind of clientele, both in private and public sector. But when we handle projects at public scale, it is very important to make the policy makers understand the role of architects in the planning criteria or planning processes. We as architects, when we quote for a project, we cannot be going in for criteria where you are competing with non-architects for the same kind of product. It is very important to basically have a streamlined category, a streamlined criteria where architects compete through varied architectural competitions as set with notified guidelines as per Council of Architecture and many other codes of the practice. So like the global trends, like any other part of the world, we have to see that architects' works and their codes of practice are practiced on a level where as set by Council of Architecture, and it's very important whether we work with a corporation or whether we work with multinational company, we have to see that we do justice to our profession and we also get justice to what we are doing in practice. Young architects of the country are looking forward for forums like this. So forums like this where architects are basically trying to build or contribute to the nation, we have to see that architectural practice is maintained as per some defined laws, defined guidelines, defined structured pattern. Let's get it right. Thank you.